India's consumer market in the first half of 2025 has faced series of disruption, from geopolitical tension with Pakistan and extreme weather situation across multiple parts of the country to the ongoing tariff tension. All these factors have created strong headwind for the domestic consumption. Now, when you look at the smartphone market in particular, it has been under pressure from the beginning of 2025. The first quarter of 2025 saw shipment decline of 8% year on year due to the weaker consumer demand and the excess channel inventory from the late 2024. Now we're already towards the end of second quarter, which is considered to be a seasonally slower quarter, and then these macroeconomic challenges have only made the recovery in the smartphone space more challenging in 2025. Now moving to the PC market, Ashweej, what do you think? How has the Indian PC market navigated these challenges in the first half?
PC market had a very solid start. Q1 saw almost 13% year-on-year growth, but the demand was majorly driven by the notebook procurement in the enterprise segment. However, education and SMB were pretty cautious. The retail operations were slightly disrupted, partially due to the weather and partially due to the lower consumer sentiment during the later half of the quarter. That said, we are seeing the signs of momentum. Gaming and premium devices are picking up the traction in Q1. The vendors are closely monitoring the inventory levels across the channel and tighter product portfolios, especially in the AI-enabled PCs. The festive sales and the PC refresh cycle in H2 would be very, very critical. We still expect India PC market to grow by 6% in 2025, but that growth will be majorly driven by the end of the year. How do you see the smartphone market shaping in the second half, Sanyam?
In the smartphone space, what we're seeing is a yet another channel-driven year. So the brands, they will once again depend on the channels in terms of device experience, retail activation, and well-timed promotional burst to drive the momentum in the second half. So overall, at the start of the year, what we were projecting to be a mild growth of around 1 to 2% in the shipment, but now what we're forecasting is a 3% annual decline. And this is mainly driven by the persistent weak sentiment in the first half and the long tail of channel correction happening in the market.
So, how do you see the domestic consumption in the second half?
So in terms of domestic consumption, let's divide it into rural and urban demand. There has been a good start to monsoon season in most part of the country, and we expect the rural consumption should bounce back, especially in the INR 20,000 to 30,000 price band. That's where the consumers from the tier 3 and tier 4 cities, they are increasingly adopting the financing option, and that's creating a headroom for upgrades. While you look at the urban areas, the urban sentiment, it looks much more cautious. Many buyers, they already feel like they're already holding on to a good device, and with inflation and job market uncertainty, there is no urgency for upgrade for these buyers. However, in the premium segment in urban areas, it still holds potential with niche segment of the aspirational buyers looking to upgrade. So overall, in a nutshell, we believe that the market is gradually moving towards a consolidation phase, and beyond 2025, brands will need to shift their focus from a pure channel-driven growth to a product-led catalyst growth coming in, especially those driven by the AI use case and ecosystem integration. So these are the trends that I'm seeing going forward in 2025 in the smartphone space. What do you think about the PC side, Ashweej? Do you see any big shift happening in the PC side going forward?
We see three big megatrends which would shape the PC market. First, obviously, the AI PCs, which is no longer a buzzword. Enterprise buyers and some premium consumers are now actively seeking for the devices that supports the AI workloads, personal co-pilots, productivity boosters, and creative tools. Second, gaming. It's not just about the GPU performance right now. It's more about thermal designs, it's about portability, and its aesthetics too. And the third, premiumization. Consumers now want experience, not just specs, accessories, displays, warranties, and bundle services. That full package matters the most. At the same time, affordability still matters. The tier 1 and tier 2 cities, financing models, offline expansions, and value SKUs will continue to drive the volume growth. So, yes, the market is maturing. It's not just about the volume drive, it's about the smarter targeting and stronger execution, both at the top and the bottom of the pyramid.
Got it. It'll be interesting to see how these two key consumer tech market perform. If you'd like to hear deeper insight, feel free to get in touch with us.